Hello, everybody. I'm Steve Reinharz, Chief Executive Officer and Chief Technology Officer of Artificial Intelligence Technology Solutions. I'm recording this on Thursday evening from our office in Waterloo, Ontario, which we call Rad Skunk Works. And it's been a busy week, but today we're going to focus on three topics. The first topic is this week's travel, why I traveled, what we're getting out of it, and why it's important, and why am I sharing it. Number two is we're going to talk about St. Louis, which there's a press release that went out on November 15th. By the time you read this, it talks a little bit about that. And the third thing is we're going to talk a little bit about how AITX is growing and changing. Let's jump right into it. First thing is when I travel with intensity. I don't want to stick around. I want to get my business done and move on. As a result, Wednesday morning, I landed in the morning at 10 o'clock in St. Louis, had a series of meetings with different people related to the city. And of course, I did do an interview with Channel 5. NBC has always been good to us in terms of coverage around the country. So that's pretty exciting. From St. Louis, at the end of the day, I flew to Detroit, where I spent the night. I slept Wednesday night in Detroit. Thursday morning, which was this morning, went to the Rex. Spent time with the team members at the Rex, staying connected. I will tell you, Luke is doing such an amazing job. The harmony and productivity coming out of the Rex is something that we really only ever dreamed of, but it is moving so well. I'm going to show you a few pictures from the Rex that I took that I think are interesting. So the first piece that I'm playing here, the video that should be playing right now, is of one of our two 3D print rooms. This is where the bulk of our 3D printing happens. And you'll notice that the very first part of it was a Romeo Tower, a Romeo cap, the top of Romeo, right? You could take that picture, match it up against the images that we released of what Romeo is going to look like, and you can see, hey, we're building the shell. So that's really cool. You'll also see those 3D printers are humming. We do so much additive manufacturing ourselves. It saves us millions of dollars. It literally allows our company to be in business. That's how much we love additive manufacturing. We have another 3D print room that has two larger 3D printers that don't work because the company that we bought them from has been struggling to get them working. It's been a bit of a nightmare. Those are some of the things that happens when you're dealing with technology. We're still hopeful that we can get those working. This next image is of a product, an internal product that we call Cloudy. Cloudy runs on every Rio, and it provides advanced power consumption, storage, and production information, which then goes into other software that we use to make sure our Rios go up. Remember, if you see a Rio from another company that has blue lights on it, and those blue lights are off, it most likely means that that unit is off. And you'll start seeing that in December, January, and February. With us, we have devices like Cloudy that give us the access, let us downsize the power consumed by the roses in order to stay up. This next image is of three Bison servers, three Bison Ubuntu NVIDIA servers. These servers are what we use to test ROS on because, we do a lot of testing and creation of new devices. So the Bison servers have been great for us. We use all different kinds of servers now when we are deploying ROS, but I just thought it was an interesting photo to share. Next up is a photo of Brad and his dog, Peter. Great dog. Today at the factory, we had 4 dogs, which is great. 2 of the dogs stayed in an office with their owner, and 2 of the others, it's funny when dogs are together, they get excited a little bit to see each other, then they just follow their owners around. So it creates a great atmosphere. This next little video is of the workshop where we assemble part of the electronics for Rosa P and for Rio. I think it's kind of cool because you'll see the Terminator arm from the movie Terminator that we inherited from a space that we had in California at one point in the past. Here's a photo of some beautiful Rio 4s in the construction process. This next little video is of some Rosas in final QC. Right. So that was the Rex this morning. I was there for a few hours. After that, hopped in the car, drove over the border about 4 hours in order to get to Waterloo, where I am now. Now, I want to play a little video of Waterloo because we're going to do a little touring in Waterloo because this place is cool. The first is a video with some old Rosas on the wall. The first white one is the first Rosa ever built. Then there's the Rosa 180. There's an Ava 2.0, a Wally, which is discontinued, Ava 2.0, Rosa 4.0, the first one in an acrylic case. So we like our history. We like knowing where we came from. The next image is of what we call our Ava test room. And you'll notice some Avas, kind of torn apart a little bit on the right-hand side of the frame, and a ginormous speaker occupying a lot of the frame with the on a desk, and then an orange sound meter in front of it. This is where we simulate different vehicle sounds in order to test and tune our digital signal processing for audio for Avas. The idea being that when a driver pulls up to an Ava, and they generally have their diesel engine on, it makes two-way voice communication very difficult. So we need to tune it and make that experience as positive for them and the operator on the other end as possible. You can only do that with data and testing. So that's what we do in that room. This next room looks kind of empty, but I want to bring your attention to the heater that's on the left. So this is our hot room. And I don't think I took a photo of I didn't take a photo of the thermometer that we have on the outside of it. So this is where we kind of heat up the room pretty hot in order just to test devices operations. What is being tested in this room right now is in that case at the end, which is a device called RAM, which we haven't talked too much about yet, but we will soon. That's a little tour of Skunkworks, some of what's happening now. Why am I here? I'm here because it's important that I show up at our offices from time to time. I've got relationships with team members. I love seeing what we're doing, and I love just showing up and sharing. So that's great. So Wednesday was St. Louis, customer facing with our St. Louis-based business development manager. Thursday, the Rex in the morning, Skunkworks in the afternoon. And in about a half an hour, I've got to give a lecture to the ASIS Waterloo group. I think we're going to have over 20 members of the group here. This is the same speech that I've given at ASIS Miami, the same speech that I gave at GSX. I don't know. It's kind of like I'm on tour with this speech because it is a strong one. I'm really thinking about making a recording of it special so that everybody in the industry and in our follower and fan base can hear it. It's kind of my winners and losers speech. From here, tomorrow morning, we'll be back at Skunkworks, primarily working on Romeo, Ram, Rad Dog. As my primary objectives, meet with the team, see how we're doing. We've got a lot of meetings, but there's nothing like being face-to-face. From there, I've got a lunch in Toronto, and I'll fly home at the end of the day. That's 3 days packed with high-value meetings and appointments. Very worthwhile. They're calling me. I got to wrap this up. Now, St. Louis is getting its first units in the downtown core. How great is that? 3 cheers for St. Louis. You are on your way to becoming a rad town, and it's very exciting what our plans with that town are, and it starts with a single step, which in our case are 2 Rosa units. So that's a fun press release. We should do a press release roll-up of all the different city activities we have, but that market is really starting to be very receptive to us. All right, now, my last point that I want to share with you is how AITX grows and how that changes my role. You will notice that over the past several months, I haven't talked about sales as much. And the reason for that is we have a great sales team in place. I don't have to be present every moment of every day, pushing and pulling every lever and telling people what to do. My job is to build leaders, empower them to go do what they do. And they're doing that now, and they're doing a great job with that. We'll probably do a quarter roll-up, sales press release in the coming weeks after the end of November. So I don't have to be involved in that. Where I find I need to be involved is on big deals, hiring, of course, but also on the technology side. This is what I want you to really focus on. Over the next 6 months, our hardware and software lineup will largely be launched, okay? Next 6 months. By May or June, that means RAM, Romeo, Rad Dog, LE2, and then some other software stuff as relates to RadCam. So I'm in this rush to get these products out into the field, into customers' hands, and that's where I need to focus right now. Other elements of the organization run admin, and other elements of the organization run sales and production and so forth. So I spend a lot of my time on the tech side. I have to take this vision of how I see things, how I know things will be in the future, and put them into products that people can buy so that our AITX revs can continue to increase exponentially. Everybody, that's what I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for liking, sharing, doing all those things that help the algorithm. I appreciate you very much. More information to follow, especially on RadCam for Cyber Monday. Stay tuned. Have a great day. Reach out as you see fit.